Alright, today we're going to look at circles, and circles are one of the easiest conic sections. And you see circles on the ACT, so there's something that you really do need to know, and they're easy. That's why I like them. Let's start with the equation of a circle. A basic circle centered at the origin. So if you have one centered at 0, 0, which doesn't happen very much, it's just x squared plus y squared equals r squared, where r is the radius of the circle. If it's not centered there, if it's centered at hk, so it has a center other than 0, 0, you have x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So hk is your center and r is the radius. So some of the stuff you get to do today is very basic, like they tell you to write an equation. So write the equation with the center at -1, 4 and a radius of 5. The answer to that is basic x plus 1 squared plus y minus 4 squared, because we always do the opposite inside there, equals 5 squared, or 25. Very easy. They do throw some algebra in there where maybe they'll say the center is at -2, 3, and the radius is 2 square root of 3. So you got to remember your radicals. So if you're going to write the equation, it's x plus 2 squared plus y minus 3 squared equals 2 square root of 3 squared. And what they're looking for there is if you remember to square both parts, because then that's 4 times 3 if you square both parts, or 12. So you have x plus 2 squared plus y minus 3 squared equals 12. They may also have you use the distance formula, like they may tell you the two endpoints and you have to find the center by using distance for the radius, and for the center you'd use midpoint. Sometimes they'll give you a problem, they'll say write an equation that's centered at 2, -1 and is tangent to the line x equals -3. Okay, so if the circle is centered at 2, -1 and is tangent to x equals -3, what you need to do is just kind of visually think about what that looks like. The center is here. X equals -3 is a vertical line right here. So, and tangent means it touches once. You need to know that. Tangent means it touches once. So how far is it from the center to this one place it's going to touch? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means r is 5. So we have x minus 2 squared plus y plus 1 squared equals 25. Okay? And like I said, some of the problems where you're writing equations, you may have to use the distance formula to find the radius. The distance formula, remember, is the square root of x minus x squared plus y minus y squared. And the midpoint formula, the midpoint would help you find the center. If you know two endpoints, the midpoint would be the center, which is an average, x plus x over 2, comma y plus y over 2, because it is a point, an ordered pair. So you have x plus x over 2, y plus y over 2. Now, the other thing you're going to have to do is you have to graph circles. And graphing circles is just about as easy as anything. X minus 1 squared plus y plus 3 squared equals 9. We'll make it a nice easy one to graph. So you need the center. The center is at 1, -3. You need the radius. The radius is at 3 because the square root of 9. You draw your graph. So there's my center. And since my radius is 3, what I do the 4 easy points. Above, below, left, and right. So I go up 3, right 3, left 3, and down 3. And then I really carefully try to draw a circle. That's it. Circles are easy to graph. Now you may have to put them in standard form first. So x squared plus y squared minus 2x minus 6y minus 6 equals 0. I know this one is a circle because if you look at this, even before I complete the square, the coefficient of x squared and y squared is both 1. As long as it's the same, they could both be 2, they could both be 6, they could both be 100, but as long as they're adding, so they're both positive and they're the same number, this time they just happen to be 1, it has to be a circle. So now to complete the square, to put this in standard form, you have to complete the square on 2 variables. So what I like to do is put my x's together, and I put my y's together, and I move everything else over, so I move my constant over here. So now I'm going to complete the square twice. I'm going to start with x. Half of negative 2 is negative 1. Negative 1 squared is 1. So I'm going to add 1, which means I need to add 1 over here. Half of negative 6 is negative 3. Negative 3 squared is 9. So if I add 9 there, I need to add 9 here. So on this side, it looks like I have 16. And on this side, after I factor, I'm going to have x minus 1 squared plus y minus 3 squared equals 16. Now you have to graph. Your center is at 1, 3. Your radius is at 4, or is 4. And graphing that is very basic once again. 1, 3. I'm going to go this way 4. I'm just approximating. When you graph, you can actually count them out. There we go. And there's your graph. So 2 jobs today, and it is actually on Canvas as a worksheet. It's not a quiz that you need to show me when you're done with that. You have to write the equations of circles and then graph circles.